What's up, traders? It's Matt with Conservative Trades. And boy, we are getting off to a great start this week. As you can see, we are ending the day up $353.09. So the big winner for the day was Boeing, and took a really nice trade on that right out the gates. As a matter of fact, let me pull up my studies here. Hold on a second. There we go. And show executions. Okay, so as you can see, I actually took this trade in anticipation of it doing this. I took it during pre-market. I got in actually right here. I think I just started with 50 shares because I was waiting for it to come down and start cracking through these levels here at 151, and that's where I was going to add another 50 shares. But as you can see, it started coming up in pre-market. And guys, with the way pre-market has been here lately, you know, we have seen just some of the most irrational moves in pre-market. From a fundamental perspective and from a technical perspective, some of these moves just don't even make sense. So anyway, to keep a long story short, as I saw it coming up, I didn't know what it was going to do, so I went ahead and got out. But as you can see here, when the market opened, I got in for a really solid trade right down here at 152.16 looks like. Let me see here if I can. 152.06 actually got in 100. I let it drop down almost a full dollar. You can see here I got out 50 shares there, and then I bought 50 shares as it came back up. But as it went down and retested 151, I got back in, sold 50 shares, went ahead and took 25 shares off as it dropped down to 150.10. I went ahead and sold 100 shares and bought some of them back. And as you can see, it was just kind of like this back and forth battle. But eventually we got a good breakdown here. I'm kind of going through the order book here just so you can actually see. But we came back in and took another 100 shares. I think at this point I was up maybe 130, 40 shares maybe, because you know, when I bought some of them back, I only bought some of them back. But it started getting crushed all the way down to 148, 147, 146, 145, and you can see here on the chart, just a beautiful move. Very, very, very beautiful move, guys, and just did a lot of scalping through here. So Boeing was the big winner on the day, and as a matter of fact, there was one point where I was up closer to $400. Not quite. It was like 370 something, 380 something maybe, and I feel like maybe I should have stopped there just because. You know, I took several other trades, and some put me down to like, 320, and then popped me back up to 340, and then, or 360 some, and then I dropped back down to 340, and then I finally took a couple last scalping trades here on ZM. You can see some of these executions here. Took a really nice short scalp here and bought pretty much part of it back at break even just because I thought it was going to go, but I let it get a good little drop here and got back in. And so anyway, guys, to make a long story short, as you can see, today has been really the best day that I've had in a while, at least maybe since not this past Friday, but the Friday before. I think I ended that Friday up roughly close to 350. So guys, we can talk about the S&P 500 real quick. I mean, I still don't claim to know what's about to happen here. I feel like we're kind of in a tightening range. You can see here, even as much as we got bought up, we did break Friday's highs, but we still have not broken the Thursday's highs, which is, I think, what bulls would probably look to see happen for us to make a continued move up. I still do not think we're going to get a V-shaped recovery. I really don't. I think with everything that we've got going on right now, economically and even politically, and just throughout the whole world, and with this coronavirus, I really feel like the fundamentals are more, in the makings for a round bottom recovery, a U-shaped recovery, so to speak. I really feel like there is still a lot of fear in the markets. I believe that this is going to come back and retest. Now, obviously, I don't know for sure, but I think that if it did come back and retest, and I've talked about this several times in the last couple of weeks, I feel like if it did come back to retest these levels, and maybe even come back to test them a couple of times, I think if it could bounce, if it could hold, I think that would definitely give bulls a lot more reason to get in and start buying this market up so that we can start seeing a good, healthy recovery. So anyways, we'll just have to see what happens tomorrow. Guys, I don't know what to expect. I mean, here's the thing. I've been trading in this mess every single day. It's the most volatile I've ever seen this market. I've seen it's the most irrationally that I've seen the SPY move in a very, very long time. I mean, again, from a fundamentals perspective and a technicals perspective, SPY just moves in directions you would not expect it to. So, honestly, guys, at this point in time, I can't call it. I can't call it one way or the other. But what I can say is I think tomorrow, if we break the Thursday highs, this will be pretty big. And I think it's possible that there could be a lot of people that get squeezed out of their short positions, and we might actually make a move up to test the 270 levels, maybe even the 280 levels, and maybe even up into the mid 280s. And so, I don't know, guys, but I think if it does get a rejection, then it's possible we may just form another small candle in a tightening range. And at some point, though, it's either going to break up to the upside or it's going to break down and start going back down towards these levels to retest this area as support. So, we'll see. But guys, we're going to be back in here tomorrow. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, I actually did release another episode of The Trader's Mind this past weekend. I'll leave a link in the video here towards the end of the video. You'll see it pop up and you can just click on it. It'll take you straight there. But I released an episode of The Trader's Mind this past weekend tackling a possible market recession mentality. It's basically going through and talking about what the mentality would be for day traders as we plow through what is widely considered among a lot of traders right now as a market recession. So go check that video out. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and like, comment, share. And I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. And by the way, if you are new to the channel, we do stream live right here on the YouTube channel every day, starting roughly around 9 a.m. And when I say every day, I mean Monday through Friday, starting roughly around 9 a.m. So we'd love to have you guys. We've got a great, solid community of traders that we're building up here. A lot of really solid guys with a lot of knowledge who are in the chat from a day-to-day basis. So come be a part, learn from us, and even add value to the channel if you can. So, all right, guys, see you tomorrow. Take care.